Hello ladies and gents, this is Whitey from the future. This video is long enough, so I'm going to keep it brief. This video was meant to be released on the 23rd of January rather than the 24th, but due to the fact that my computer was not being my friend and the fact that this video is huge, it took a little bit longer than expected. I'm sorry about that, but you know, hey, it's still here, so enjoy the show. A disclaimer: this video is within the realms of fair use. It is a review, but to cover my basis and make sure not many copyright strikes are on this video, I will not be using any John Williams scores. I will hardly be using any clips. It'll be in a sort of slideshow format, and any clips that I will be showing, I own the DVDs to every single one of them, and I will not be ripping them off other YouTubers or anything like that. Like I say, this is within the realms of fair use, so basically what I'm saying, you throw the book at me, I throw it right back at you. Savvy? Also, this is not exactly an overly serious review. There are moments, especially in the middle of this video, where I just rant. I literally don't script it, and I just rant, Whitey rant style. So it's got a mix of comedy and actual opinion, so take everything I say with a pinch of salt. I'm not being overly serious. Anyway, enjoy the video. The 23rd of January 2017 was the day of our very first live stream on Team Nerd TV, with me, Yuk, and Shadow White, where we found out and announced the name of this year's Star Wars movie, The Last Jedi. This was the start of the biggest year of this channel so far. Now the movie is finally released in cinemas, and this video is released directly 1 year after the live stream. I've seen it twice, and I think it's time for me to review it. This is the review of Star Wars The Last Jedi. I've been meaning to do movie reviews for a long time now, but I didn't know where to start. But as this movie to me is very important to this channel, what a way to start. This movie has a lot of mixed reception. Some love it, some hate it. As for me, I love it. And this is after my second viewing. I watched the midnight release where we watched The Force Awakens and then The Last Jedi side by side. My view on The Force Awakens is disappointing because it was a bit of a retread of the original trilogy, not just A New Hope. There are a lot of parallels to the original trilogy as a whole. I will make a separate review of The Force Awakens and point them out. But I'm glad to say that any parallels to The Empire Strikes Back in this movie are only homages, well, maybe apart from one, but we'll get to that later. And after watching the movie for a second time, I love it even more. And I'm going to explain my opinion the best I can, and also, spoilers ahead. This is a strange thing. The plot of the movie is a bit messy, and I admit messy plots are not my favourite thing in the world, and I'm not the only one. A lot of people who don't like this movie bring it up, and yeah, that's fair. Alright, so let's have a look at things that worked well with this story. I have to start with saying, Adrian fucking Edmondson is in this movie, a comedy legend. I have never seen a reviewer acknowledge this. The only person I've seen online mention it is Mark Hamill himself. God, I love this guy. The acting in this movie is brilliant, especially with Mark Hamill as Luke Skywalker, Daisy Ridley as Rey, Adam Driver as Kylo Ren / Ben Solo, and of course Carrie Fisher as Leia Organa. And as this was Fisher's final performance, it's very touching in many ways to see her on screen. There are a few negative performances, and some of that is because of the messy part of the plot, so I'll get into that soon. Let's have a look at the plot points, shall we? Okay, a lot of people disagree with the way Luke is portrayed in this movie, but I strongly disagree with that disagreement. In the Legends continuity, he is overpowered as hell and completely unstoppable. That will be a problem for the movie because they need to have some kind of struggle for the characters to overcome. This is good storytelling. Having Luke go missing and then make him OP and ready to train Rey after this is all bullshit, and you know it. He needs a reason for going into exile. Christ, it's a big part of the plot for The Force Awakens. He went into hiding. He has the defeatist mentality, and when you find out why, it makes sense. Trust me, I will give my reasoning for this big reveal scene and why it is good in my sort of spoiler section. I mean, Mark Hamill himself did disagree with what Rian Johnson did, but he did admit that it works for the story that was being told. Okay, also, I did think that Rey was a Mary Sue, but come to think of it, Luke and Anakin are also Mary Sues. All three protagonists are just good at stuff, and yet again, I'll be reviewing these movies separately and picking out the shit part. So what I'm saying is, Rey is not that bad once you think about it, but Rey's struggle with wanting to be trained and just to understand what's going on inside her, the power that she has, and Luke's refusal to help is very interesting, because without Luke being the person she needed at the time, he inevitably caused more damage than good. which is a huge plot point. This movie's big plot point was failure. But like I said, more on that later. This plot point does lead into another plot point, which is Ben Solo is a brat. There you go, I said it. But I love him. He is one of the best written characters in this movie, and Adam Driver's performance is fantastic. Kylo Ren is having a really bad time after Snoke, who looks like he's had a bit of a facelift and a slight personality change since last movie, makes fun of how easily he was defeated at Starkiller Base. He even mocks his mask, calling it ridiculous, and how wrong he was in thinking him a new Vader. Ooh, hit it right in the feels there, Snokey. And, you know, Ren is genuinely angry. Also, Hux is a bitch. I'm not really going to talk much about this till a bit later on. I'll leave it for my twists and turns segment. But of course, the plotline also ties in with... Okay, I actually don't like this plot point. I mean, this plotline sucks. It does. I won't talk too much about it because I'll just rant and rave about it. But then again, there are 3 major plotlines, so 2 out of 3 isn't bad. It was the least interesting, and it was a bit like, you know, we need these guys to have something to do. But I'll wait for my twist and turn Oh, hang on a minute. Here we are! Oh, okay. Why not? This is the start of the boring, the most annoying part of the plot. This is the plot line that I don't like. And it starts the movie. There is Poe Dameron, played by Oscar Isaac. Awesome actor, by the way. And he destroys an entire freaking fleet. He gets too brash, egotistical, and, you know, we're just... it's just not right. It feels bad. Where he's like so brash and unintelligent. He even gets a big old slap from Leia, which I thought was awesome. And he was demoted. But that whole scene, it was a great scene, don't get me wrong. And it even includes a character who plays in later on who dies in the battle. As I know, this is the spoiler section, so don't worry about that. But he gets a slap on the wrist, and that's that. It does continue, but I will go back to it as I go through these major plot points that are spoilerific, you know? Okay, a lot of people don't like this, and I'm a little bit... Okay, fair enough, I do agree. Right, there was a moment a bit later on in that scene where Kylo Ren and his fleet attack the Resistance. Leia is there, you know, on the bridge of the ship, and... Ben of blowing her up because, you know, he says let the past die and all that shit a bit later on in the movie, and he kind of goes with that mentality, but he can't let the past die. He killed his father and he's going to try and kill his mother, but it doesn't work. But then his TIE fighter friends just shoot anyway because they don't bloody know. They do the work for him, which blows Leia and Akbar out of the bridge. Akbar dead. See you later, Akbar. Thank you for a little appearance. Hello, I'm here. Oh, I'm gone now. Come on. The fans love Akbar. Give him a better send-off at least. Jesus. Many Christmas. But then you see a shot of Leia in space, just floating in space, very close up of her face. It's really sad. A really touching moment. What a lovely tribute way to send her off in her final performance. And what the fuck? She goes all Mary Poppins out of nowhere. She uses her force abilities, which have been dormant this entire freaking time, and she flies back into the ship and goes unconscious. I think this may have been like the original idea, and they didn't backpedal because they didn't think Carrie Fisher was actually going to die in real life when they were filming all this, but she was gone for quite a substantial amount of filming because she wasn't well, which brought in the whole plot point of her being unconscious and, you know, just in general the later plot point for a character that I think is useless and shouldn't even exist. Now this is bloody clever. People say that they know how the Force works. They have had the same shit over and over again. Well, apart from the Legends continuity, where you have so many interesting and integral ways of using the Force, which I think are pretty good. But this is a new way of using the Force. Or I like to call it Force Skype. Rey and Kylo Ren have this Force connection across the galaxy. They are communicating with one another. There was even a nice topless scene with Kylo Ren, and holy crap, he's buffer than I expected. And they just can't talk about things in... it's difficult because I'm sectioning these bits, bit by bit, to talk on them, but they all link together, which is a bit of a shame, so I can't talk any further. It's just such a clever use of the Force. It's just an intricate new thing. And Kylo's just like, Rey, you totally aren't doing this, and I'm not doing this, because, you know, it would have killed us if we did this. force projection is very dangerous. It would kill us with the effort it would take to do it. Foreshadowing. Their conversations get very interesting, and they reveal a lot of plot points about Ben Solo's past, Luke Skywalker's past, and even Rey's past. It gets very, very intricate, very cleverly done, where you don't even see each other in the same room as each other. You see separate rooms until a bit later on at the end, near the end of the movie, where you finally do see them in the same space together. It's really good. It is really clever, and I really admire that. Okie dokie, Leia's unconscious, Poe's been demoted, and in comes Laura fucking Dern as Holdo, the purple-haired woman who looks like she's going to prom. Why does she look like she's going to prom? She's meant to be an admiral in the army. Why does she look so fancy? I mean, I don't mind the purple hair. This is a galaxy far, far away, and people in this galaxy do purple hair. Even my sister at this point. Seriously, she got purple hair. It's funny, right? But anyway, she comes out looking all fancy, swaggy, and then she's just a bitch to Poe. I mean, okay, this is a huge plot point that is a big issue, and I'm not even going to hold back. There's no other sections. I'm just going to discuss this entire segment. Holdo has a plan to get them away from this specific situation. The situation is that they have been going through hyperspace and they have no power to go into hyperspace because they're being tracked through hyperspace. The First Order are tracking them through hyperspace. That is an interesting new bit of technology. The future. You know, it's not like the original trilogy. It's adapting. It's getting more powerful in their technologies and their force abilities. It's all evolving, which is great. And they're a bit screwed because if they jump through hyperspace one more time, they will only be able to jump through hyperspace one more time. Then you'll have no energy, and the First Order could destroy them. Holdo has a plan, and I'll tell you what her plan is. She's going to get the escape pods towards this planet called Crate, which had an old rebel base there, and it's a really good plan. They're just stalling for time. They give all the energy into the ship so they can fly out, get to Crate, send a message off to the rest of the resistance, and then you're home free. You're home. You're safe. You have a plan. She doesn't tell Poe this. Poe, who has been established in this movie, has been a bit of a hothead and likes to take things onto his own. He likes to do shit his own way. And Holdo holds off the information that is incredibly crucial. All she could have done was say, "This is the plan." There we go. That's all she had to say. She didn't even tell most of the other crew. Why doesn't she tell the people that she's trying to protect, who may possibly start a mutiny against her, the plan? Why? That is not being a good leader. That is not being a good admiral. That is not her doing her job. She is meant to be really well known in the circle for being a really good soldier. She needs to know what's going on. She's just not doing her job right. And it's a bloody shame because, there's potential there. Even Poe admits it's a good plan after he fucks it up. But then again, that will lead to another plot point. I won't go any further than that. Actually, yes, I will go into that because it's the next freaking section. Because of this, Poe is staging some kind of mutiny. They want to get onto the main ship of the First Order so they can destroy their tracking device. In order to do that, they talk to Maz Kanata, who says, "I know a guy who can hack these things," and he's on this place called Canto Bight. It's an area of a planet that has a similar name, Cantonia or something like that. And Finn, who also wants to get Rey when she comes back from seeing Luke away from this skirmish, bumps into Rose, whose sister was blown up in the big fight at the beginning of the movie. Okay, let's talk about Finn for a second, shall we? His plot line is exactly the fucking same. The whole "don't run away and be a hero" line, it's repeated. Don't do that. That's bad storytelling. Stop giving these characters something to do because they need something to do. Think about your plot points and how they will interconnect. Just think about it for a few more hours. Just think about it. Anyway, they go off to find this hacker. They find the hacker on Canto Bight, but unfortunately the police stop them. They get locked up in this cell where they find this guy called DJ, played by Benicio del Toro, who's pretty much been wasted potential because DJ is just Lando with a stammer. He's so cartoony, and it doesn't quite fit Benicio del Toro. I mean, he could be a great character if they used him properly. I mean, holy crap. This thing takes them on this big-ass wild goose chase to find a hacker so they can get into the ship. At the same time, Poe is trying to get a mutiny going. He's trying to get a Holdo off the ship. He wants Leia back. He wants to get them off there and save them. Poe has an idea, a plan to save his people. But the problem is, though, he's not got the actual normal plan, the actual original plan from Holdo, because she's a useless fucking general. Oh, God. But anyway, they end up on this place, Canto Bight, and then there's this stupid meta-narrative about corruption and about animal cruelty, about these space horses. It's not that good. And then there's this whole big horse chase sequence where they're getting away from the cops, and DJ gives them a lift on the ship, and yeah, that's a bit weird. Then they end up going to the main ship at the same time as a lot of things are happening, and they get caught. They were completely Landoed by DJ. DJ was Lando. He was just Lando. He was like, yeah, I'll help you out. But unlike Lando, DJ doesn't have the opportunity to be redeemed. He didn't feel like he didn't have a choice. He said the quote, "Live free, don't join. If the pay rises a bit higher, he will go for that." And of course, the First Order give him a pay rise. This also leads to a scene that I think is a big, big shame. They've been Landoed by DJ, and then Phasma was Boba Fetted. Just like Django, they just had a cool character that they nerfed the crap out of and killed her again. Or something, they killed. Maybe she might return, but they killed her. Finn and Phasma have a fight. Something that was being advertised on the trailers, and it's like, yeah, this is a big deal. And then, yeah, she goes out like a bitch, and it's a big shame because Phasma's fucking cool. Unfortunately, she doesn't do anything to warrant that, and I think that's another part of this plotline where it's a bit lazy because the main focus was on Rey's storyline and Kylo's storyline. They were the biggest focus on, and this one was just a bit nerfed. Also, BB-8 is a boss. Okay, I will go for the good side of this. BB-8 is a really cool droid. He can drive an AT-ST. Yeah, that happens. It's really cool. And they get out, and then they join the rest of the crew for the final scene. But apart from that just goes into something that I don't like. Let's go back to Luke and Rey, shall we? Because of this weird Skype ability that both Kylo Ren and Rey are having at this moment, Kylo tries to reveal his side of the story after Luke tries to reveal his side of the story. Luke's side of the story is Ben went nuts and destroyed it. Destroyed everything. That was the first thing he said. Ben destroyed everything. Fair enough. But then Kylo says, no, Luke actually tried to freaking kill me, and that's why I destroyed everything, so it was in self-defense. And then it was revealed that it was both. For a fleeting moment, Luke lost it. Luke saw the darkness in Ben Solo and tried to end it on a whim. And Ben Solo woke up when Luke decided to change his mind. Unfortunately, what Ben saw was Luke over him with a lightsaber. That was something that triggered Ben to fight back and completely go to the dark side. It was Luke's fault. It was all Luke's fault, and that's why he went into exile. That's why he's a defeatist, and it just makes sense. It just fits so perfectly. It's like a puzzle that when you click it all together, you just go, mwah, beautiful. I still don't understand why he actually managed to have a map out there. I thought he should have just destroyed the map, but, you know, you need to find Luke Skywalker somehow. Now, this is a thing. This is also another reason why he doesn't like the Jedi. Once you get into the Jedi mindset, like the Clone Wars era of Jedi mindset, because to begin with, Luke was a bit like this new grey Jedi, has a bit of a balance between them. Then he started this new Jedi Order, but then he started learning from a load of books that are in an ancient tree. This ancient texts of the Jedi teach you everything from the almost like, shall we say, the Old Republic times, and the Clone Wars era, and everything. And he's learning all these things, and like, for instance, if you read a book and you start to convince yourself that it's one way, and then you continue the book and go, oh my god, it's the other way, that's what happened to Luke. Luke became like the old Jedi, like Yoda's era, Obi-Wan's era, the Clone Wars era of Jedi, and was like, right, he is turning into a Sith, I have to stop him. But then he just goes, wait a minute, no, My dad was a Sith, for crying out loud. I can fix this, but as he did that, it was way too late. He remembered who he was at the wrong moment. He fucked up. And that's, like I say, the theme of this is failure. It's an important, integral part of this story. Failure is one of the biggest teachers. And people may go, oh, why would Luke do this? Why would Luke do that? Why would Luke do this? If you watch the original trilogy, the prequel trilogy, the Clone Wars series, and read some of the books, you'll get it. But as an average moviegoer, I can understand why a lot of people would be a bit not happy about that. But I'm not. I watched all these things, and I read some of the stories, and I was like, yeah, I'm on board with this. Yeah, shit, fuck it. You know, I was a different perspective, and I loved the twist because I wanted to see something original, and it blew my freaking mind. It was great. An original story for Luke Skywalker to have. I loved it. It was great. It was clever. Anyway, back to the shitty plotline. But actually, no, let's get back to the shitty plotline and give you a bit more backstory, because I'm trying to describe a really cool scene here. Leia wakes up as the mutiny is going on. She tells Poe the plan. Leia trusts Poe enough, tells him the plan, and he's like, oh, right, yeah, that sounds like a good idea. Which has made me go, what the fuck, why didn't you just say it in the fucking first place, you stupid car? Anyway, it just goes to show that Leia and Holdo really work completely differently, and Leia is much more superior. Yeah, that was cool, but then Holdo does this... No, okay, it's a great scene, but it's a bad scene at the same time. Holdo says someone has to man the ship, though. Someone has to go down with the ship to buy time. And yeah, that's pretty cool. Why did it have to be Holdo? Why did she have to do that? Why did... Anyway, I'll talk about the scene itself. She turns the ship around and goes into hyperspace, slicing the shit out of the First Order. Wow! That was beautiful. The sound cuts out. You see this beautiful effect, and it's just phenomenal. Absolutely beautiful scene. But the problem is, why did it have to be Holdo that does it? Why not a character that people like? Maybe Akbar, maybe give him a good send-off. Maybe have Akbar be the one taking over instead of Holdo, and have Akbar go. I mean, Akbar deserves better than he got, okay? Damn it. Holdo, no one cares about Holdo. Everyone fucking hates Holdo. Laura Dern's a good actor, but Holdo's a bad character. I don't know. Maybe there's some gender politics that the freaking producer likes to do at the moment. She does that a lot right now. Maybe that's what they were trying to do. But maybe you should give her a bit of a character. You know, like Rey, very important character. That if Rey died and did that, that's like, holy shit, Rey did that. You know, just give someone some character before you kill them. Okay? Just write a character, okay? Not a plot device. And expect us to care. The thing I liked about that scene was the great effect of the hyperspace jump, and it was beautiful. And it was a cool way of taking down the First Order. Surprised they didn't do it in the first place. That was cool. I didn't care about Holdo whatsoever. Yeah, whatever, she died. I don't give a shit. Call me harsh, but if you're going to go kamikaze, make it with a character you like. God, the suicide flight in Wonder Woman was better than that. And Wonder Woman was a pretty good movie. But this movie's better than Wonder Woman in my eyes, so... Don't do shit like this, okay? It has been revealed in this that it's confirmed that Rey is no one. There is a moment, it was very, very clever. I mean, well, who else could she be? You know, well, I don't know, a Palpatine, a Kenobi, a Skywalker. That is bullshit. That is like, why do you have to be from a certain lineage to be great? I mean, the only other Skywalker at this moment on the lineage is Kylo Ren, and he fucked up. So it's kind of like Rey came from nothing and now is great. That's what makes me respect Rey's character a bit more. That she's from nothing. You know what I mean? It's a good message to send to people. You don't have to be special to become special. You can be from nothing and be special in the future if you work at it and if you're inexplicably good at things. But you know, you can be inexplicably good at things. That's why Rey's not Mary Sue in my eyes anymore. I think it's because Rian Johnson did a better job of explaining her character a lot more than J.J. Abrams did. Shame, because I like Abrams, but more on that later. Luke ends up giving Rey 3 lessons, which he doesn't even end up completing, because when the big what the fuck happened, it all went tits up. But anyway, remember that I said that there's homages to Empire Strikes Back, but there's one that's pretty much a straight up ripoff, is because the planet that they're on, the island that they're on, is pretty much Dagobah. It has its own dark side cave. And Rey sees it in her vision when she's reaching out through the Force, and Luke's not happy about that. But Rey goes down into this dark side cave and tries to discover who she is. She's trying to find out what she wants, even though she knows. She knows that her family are nothing, but she wants to be something. Like, she's trying to, in The Force Awakens, she tries to latch onto Han Solo. She's trying to become something great by pretending to be someone she isn't. And I think this movie really says, actually, you should really admit who you are in order to truly achieve greatness. It's failure. It's, again, goes back to the whole story of failure. Poe's backstory is failure. Finn's story is failure. It's all about failure. And there is a great sequence, unlike in Empire Strikes Back, where Luke fights Darth Vader that has Luke's face. That was good. But this is very trippy, man. She sees this mirror wall that reflects herself constantly again and again and again and again, and she travels through these multiple versions of herself by clicking, by doing all this cool stuff, and she ends up at the final part of the wall, and she says, "Who are my parents?" You see two figures in the distance, all blurry and shit. They come in and then they form one figure, and it is revealed to be Rey. That's her face, that's just hair. Which is another way of saying, you are you. You are not someone special, it's just all you now. Your parents are gone, everything's gone. It's you, it's all you. The important thing is not your family, where you come from, it's what you are now, and I really, really, really love that part of the narrative. And also, when she clicks onto that, she reaches out to Kylo Ren through this Skype thing, and she ends up having a fight with Luke Skywalker. After the whole truth is revealed, she has a fight with Luke. Luke admits that he is wrong, and he's still being a right puss, but, you know, Rey's like, well, fuck you, I'll go myself. I'll go myself. I'll take Chewie the Falcon and we'll go off on our own. And they do that. Yeah, they just go off and they go to the main ship, and it's confirmed that even Kylo Ren knows that she's from nothing. And I like that, because of course they're having this sort of shipping thing with Rey and Kylo, and it's kind of good, because, you know, why not? The good character gets with the bad character and changes things up a bit. Nothing wrong with that. I'm quite happy with it. But yeah, back to that bit of the scene. Right, they end up going into the Red Room where Facelift Snoke is there, and, you know, he's just, you know, there being cocky, taunting Rey, using the Force to throw around the room. Every time she goes to attack him, he just throws her off, and he's just like, yeah, whatever. Yeah, I'm incredibly powerful with the Force. I can use Force Lightning. I can throw people around like a ragdoll. Yeah, you ain't mess with me. You ain't nothing on me. I'm fucking Snoke, dude. And he gets Kylo Ren to kill her. Like, to finish your training and fulfill your destiny. And Kylo uses the Force to kill Snoke with Rey's lightsaber. Straight out of the bat, Snoke is no more. He's chopped in freaking half, and not in the Darth Maul half where you can come back from that if it's from just below your waist. I think that shit went through his organs. That killed him. He's dead. He is dead. You even have a close-up on his face that is super dead looking. He is gone. He is dead. That pissed off a lot of people, and it made me happy. Now, everyone's like doing all these things like Snoke is this, Snoke is that. What about Snoke? Snoke. Fuck that. Snoke was a terrible idea in the first place. Rian Johnson knew it and killed him. We already had an Emperor. We don't need another one. Let's try something new, shall we? And to be fair, in the original trilogy, no one knew anything about Palpatine until the prequels. So, look what that happened. He was thrown down a freaking shaft. It doesn't matter. Snoke doesn't matter. What matters is Rey and Kylo. And also, right after Snoke gets ripped in half, a fight sequence happens that, oh my god, it's pure sex. The best fight sequence in the Star Wars movie for a long time, okay? There's great fighting with the Praetorian Guards. In fact, it's never been in this movie, there's never a lightsaber versus lightsaber. It's a lightsaber versus something else, and it's quite clever. It's a great fight sequence. Just watch it. It is beautiful. I may revisit this review when the DVD comes out, get some footage, and actually make a full review about it. But until that time, just watch the scene. It is great. It is beautiful, and it's very clever. There's some clever moves and cool lightsaber deaths. And there's this one moment where Rey throws her lightsaber at Ben, and he clicks it on into the Praetorian Guard's head that has him in a headlock. It is beautiful. But yeah, just watch the scene. I'd watch it over and over again if I could. It'd be great. Unfortunately, though, it's about an hour or so, maybe 2 hours into the movie. Yeah, it's a long movie, guys. Not gonna lie, it's a long long movie, and it's not even over. Right, all our new rebel scum ending up on Crate. Holdo's plan works, and everyone ends up on Crate, including Finn and Rose. After the cool reveal of BB-8 being a boss brings them back to Crate, they're all there. They're all ready to fight. The First Order is also ready to fight. They brought these new guerrilla walkers, which even have cable cutters on their legs to stop them from being taken down, like in Empire Strikes Back. The planet is white, but it's not. It's salt. It's not snow like Hoth. Crate is a salt planet, and it's very clever as well because there's a red underlayer, which is a beautiful spectacle. When our heroes get a few speeders and they zoom out, and it causes these red trails to come out behind, and it's just a beautiful scene of fighting and all this stuff. And this is also where a cool fight scene just happens. You know, these walkers are shooting at these speeders, and people are getting taken down left, right, and center. All that's left is Poe, Finn, and Rose. And Poe's like, there's this gigantic cannon, okay, trying to break into the base that they're in. And Poe's like, you know, what are we going to do to take this down? And Finn's like, I know, I'll drive right into the fucking thing and blow it up. Because there's no way they can actually blast it because they've got lower numbers and they're outgunned. So if the suicide mission into that cannon, blowing it up, taking them down, they have more of a chance of saving it, which I think is very clever. And I actually thought to myself for a moment, I'm like, wow, is Finn going to do this? Is Finn actually going to kill himself? Is Ryan going to do it again and bring a whole, hey, something new? But no. Rose decides to fuck up the idea and knocks Finn out of the range of the cannon. Finn's like, what are you doing? Why did you do that? It could have worked. And she's like, but I saved you, silly. It's not for defeating the ones we hate, but protecting the ones we love. Whilst at the same time, this cannon's about to blast their base and kill everyone they love. And then Rose goes and kisses Finn. What? I mean, why would you do that? Why would Rose kiss Finn and all this stuff? But she hardly knows him. They went on one adventure together, and apparently she loves him. Come nah. In the cinema, when I saw that, I was like, what? And Jay next to me just went, yeah. I mean, it was just one of those things where it was just like, really? You're doing that shit on us? You're pulling this shit on us? Okay, what the fuck ever. Let's get to some better stuff, right? Let's get to some good stuff. Back on the planet that Luke's at, Luke's like, right, fuck this, I'm burning down this Jedi shit, I want to burn down the tree, burn the books down, really make a fresh start. And he stops, he falters. And then you see a little green man in the corner. Yes, that's right, Yoda's back, baby! And it's Puppet Yoda, it's cute. And people are like saying, oh no, it doesn't sound that good because it's not Frank Oz anymore because Frank Oz is dead. No, he's fucking not. Why does everyone think Frank Oz is dead? He was at the premiere, he was there, he's credited. It's Frank fucking Oz. Stop thinking he's dead. Why? Is it because he just vanished for a while? Is it this the internet thing where if you're not around for every single day you must be dead? Frank Oz is not dead, he's alive and well and he's just doing his thing. Oz is alive. Oz is most definitely alive. And he is Yoda again. He may sound a little different, but he's a bit older. I mean, come on. And someone I know said it sounded a bit Miss Piggy. Guess who voices Miss Piggy? Yeah, Frank Oz. Now, I love him really. It was a funny moment. And he's like, you know, saying, yes, failure is important. And he burns down the tree with a lightning strike. I mean, when everyone says, if you strike me down, I'll become more powerful than you can possibly imagine, he fucking means it. Force ghosts are awesome. They're so in tune with the Force that they can cause a lightning strike. That is cool, man. That's some cool shit. Also, apparently Force ghosts are corporeal. He's poking at Luke and he's like hitting him with his cane and he's physically there. Okay. And Luke's like, why did you do that? And you know, he's like saying, well, preach told us they were not. He's saying that, yeah, he agrees with Luke. His era of Jedi were failures. They caused this shit to happen. They caused the Empire to rise. Time for a change. Yoda's smart. He admits that he did wrong. That's why he went to exile in the goddamn first place. He realized he really fucked up and he needed to fix his shit together. Met Luke, trained Luke, got a new hope in him. And by the time he died, he's like, Luke will sort this out. And then Luke falls to the same fucking trap that Yoda did. And he's like, fucked up you did, And he just shows up and just goes, right, do it myself I must. Boom. He's teaching Luke even after death, just like Ben did, Obi-Wan Kenobi did. He's just teaching him that failure has always been a part of being a teacher, being a master. And that is a beautiful, beautiful scene. And that's what prompts him to do the thing in the next segment. Whilst they're fighting on Crate, Luke shows up. But he looks a little bit different. He has shorter hair, he looks a bit younger, and he has Anakin's lightsaber. Okay, bit about the Anakin lightsaber situation. Anakin's lightsaber, Rey has been using it this entire time, and both Kylo Ren and Rey fight over it because they were fighting alongside each other, and then Kylo just goes, nah, alright, I'm in charge of the First Order now. And Rey's like, no, but I thought you were joining my side. It's still light versus dark. It's not balanced yet. It's not balanced yet. And they fought over this lightsaber, which blew the fuck up. You know, which also means Rey's going to get a new lightsaber. But also the fact that that is finally it. Anakin's lightsaber is no more. It's gone. It's blown up. It's destroyed. It's really hard to rebuild a lightsaber. You need a new one if you fuck up. And even Luke made a new one. But Luke in this scene, he gets blasted to smithereens by the walkers because Kylo Ren is so angry now. He's now the new leader of the First Order. He is power hungry, he is vicious, he is angry, and he's like, shoot that fucker down. They shoot him down and Luke just walks out. Yeah, well, okay. He even does a little comical brush off his shoulder thing, which is kind of funny. And Kylo's like, alright, I'll go down and face him myself. They have a fight, they have an argument, and when Kylo finally decides to strike him, it turns out it's a Force projection. There is Luke back on the island projecting. He's putting some fucking effort into this, and you know, this big moment where he just goes, "See you around, kid," and it fucks up Kylo Ren to such an extent where he's like, "Oh my god, I'm going nuts. I am losing my fucking shit here." But when Kylo Ren said it before, he said it to Rey, the effort would kill you. The effort killed Luke. I know what you're saying. Okay, no, don't go nuts. A lot of people was like, "What? No, you can't do that to him. No, don't do that. Oh no, blah 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 blah." You know, it was a beautiful scene. It was so touching. I felt the feels when Luke became one with the Force. You saw him looking at the twin suns, reminding him of his home planet, and he just fades. It is beautiful. The sunset, they fade, and it's just a glorious thing. So, which means he's going to come back as a Force Ghost, because, you know, obviously every Jedi fucking does that. And it's just a glorious, beautiful scene. Even, you know, Leia and Rey admit that he was at peace. I mean, it's beautiful. Anyway, POGS! They're alright. Let's have a look at the direction of this movie. It is pretty. Very pretty. There's great visuals. Rian Johnson has a great idea of scope. J.J. Abrams introduced a lot of the physics of the world with this really good CGI work. Same with Rian Johnson, he really brought in the physics of this. They look like the ships and everything, they look like they're actually there. The CGI has improved and they actually took their time to do it. Look at it's ILM. They're the best CGI company ever. And, you know, there's some great visuals, great use of camera angles, and he can even direct actors. It's not like the prequels where they're so blunt and stunted and they sound like robots. They act, they emote, they cry, they get angry, they laugh, they joke. It is just phenomenal, and I love it. And also, if you look at the behind the scenes stuff, they look like they're really happy. Good vibes all round. Okay, that's all my ranting side done. Let's get back to more scripted stuff, shall we? Alright, a lot of people are irritated by the humour of this movie, and to them I say, it's fucking funny! Where is your sense of humour? Holy shit, stop whining. If you're whinging about something being funny, you have half a soul. I mean, there were jokes in the originals. In fact, they were in the prequels. Jokes make people feel more realistic, because people say stupid shit, they make dumb jokes and stuff like that. And they're not bland, humorless, like people without souls, or robots. Even the robots are funny. If you don't laugh at least once, you are heartless or you're American. Okay, let me explain that a bit better. Americans that only like American humor. A lot of responses from reviewers say that when they're in the cinema, there was no laughter whatsoever. As for me, we were howling with laughter. I mean, it was so funny. It reminds me of another movie, The BFG, full of toned down, sarcastic humor. Very British-like humour, an American director yet again making British humour. The general American audiences did not laugh at it because he just didn't get it. And I'm not pulling together all Americans. There are Americans on Team Nerd TV who love this kind of humour. The Force Awakens humor was a bit cringy and didn't work all that well. It felt quite American in its style. The Last Jedi wasn't as over the top with its humor. It was really funny. And why are you complaining about it being too Disney? Saying, it's not dark anymore, like Disney can't do dark, come on. In fact, this movie covers very mature and adult themes such as failure, loss, psychological barriers and trauma. Well, let's look at, alright, let's have a look at some of the other live-action Disney stuff, okay? Pirates of the Caribbean films, okay? It has rotten skeletons, a dude getting his throat slit, this shit, and this. Sorry. And let's look at Marvel, shall we?
Hail, Hydra.
Disney! Does anybody who makes these complaints watch these movies? Do people forget these things? Do they just want to complain about things then overlook all the really good stuff that negates their arguments? I don't know. The world is full of opinions. But if those opinions can be debunked, then they're wrong. I hear that Rian Johnson's going to be making a trilogy after this, and to him I say good luck. His mixed critical responses may have him rethink a lot of things, and he does have to really fix a lot of problems that are in The Last Jedi. But this is his first shot at a Star Wars movie, so I have every faith in him to make a very original, very interesting and intricate trilogy. Will J.J. Abrams backpedal in the 9th movie? Possibly. He made a very safe movie with The Force Awakens. I don't know what he's going to do with the next one. I'm a little bit worried. But let's just take it on the chin and hope he does a good job. We still have Han Solo to watch anyway, so that'll be fine. Right, okay. Now we can get into the meat and two veg of the situation. The critical response. Fuck you! Sorry, no, I'm joking. No. Most of the negativity is unwarranted, and I will tell you why. Most of the people who I've seen complain about the movie either grew up with the original trilogy or remember it fondly. I do remember it fondly myself, especially if you grew up with it. I'm 24. You know what I grew up with? Yeah, that's right, the frickin' prequels, full of stupid, retconning plotlines, terrible acting, and Jar Jar Binks! And I've seen people defend them, which I can to an extent, but those people who overlook this...
Are you an angel? What?
This...
I don't like sand.
And this... But condemn this, and this... deserve to be slapped back into reality. Look, even the original trilogy had some dumb shit. May I remind you of this? This. And... Ha! See? Get off your high horse. It's a great movie, and it's more original, and has incredible performances. This whole thing seems blindsided and nostalgia-fueled. People complain, including me, about how unoriginal The Force Awakens was, and then bitch and moan about The Last Jedi being original and changing things, so... No! Don't shut me up, Bruce! Hey, you want to know something interesting? There was another Star Wars movie that got this sort of reception back in the day. No, not that one. No, not that one. Yes, that one. The Empire Strikes Back, known as the best Star Wars movie ever made. It had got almost identical response. So, I wonder how The Last Jedi will stack up in 30 years' time. See you later. Hi ladies and germs, Whitey the Bro Rock here. I hope you really enjoyed this video. If you managed to watch all the way through and you got to this little segment, well done. This is a little bit of a thing to say that I may have glossed over a few things within this movie, mainly because I've only just seen it twice in cinemas and I've not got the DVD or anything. But like I said, within this review I will be actually doing more in-depth and very, very detailed reviews of every Star Wars movie ever made, maybe other movies you want me to review if I actually have a copy of it. But within that time, I hope you've enjoyed this video. Sorry for the long delay on videos within this year. Team Nerd TV is having a little bit of a facelift, a bit like Snoke. So we're within the confines of organising and actually fixing the channel, making it much bigger as it's the second biggest year. We're heading towards 300 subs. We want to raise it even higher. We want better quality content. We want more content coming out. We're going to be doing some content that you'd normally like to see, like try not to laugh challenges and so on and so forth. So within that time, please bear with, and once we have our Team Nerd full rebirth, I hope you would enjoy joining us again. So thank you very much, and stay tuned for more content coming your way. And always remember to always get your nerd on. See you later.